Good afternoon. So what do you take for granted in your life? That's just what I've been thinking about. Sitting here, just done a 3k run around the park. And we all take things for granted, don't we, of course. And, you know, I hold my hand up that I definitely took for granted the fact that I'd only been out of work ever in my sort of 25-year contracting career for about 6 weeks. No, maybe there was one, I think there was one 6-week term and one that was about 3 months, I think. And we're talking, 2008 for one of those, 2013 for the second gap. And of course, you can manage those gaps, can't you? Because, you've built up your war chest, you've got the money. As a contractor, I love to take the time off. I didn't worry during those periods out of work at all because they were so short, relatively speaking. And of course, looking back from this point now in 2021, you just think, Christ almighty, I had a year and a half off, 6 months of that was me wanting to take time off and travel. But I probably took, over a year of job searching. And it does make me look back and think, did I take certain things for granted, earning $5.50 a day, and in some contracts, and and more in shorter term contracts, $6.50, $7.50, $1,000, stuff like that. When it reached that sort of numbers, it was just funny money that it wasn't real, because it was just a number hitting my bank account maybe every week or every month. And it reminds me of when I was in Australia, when I was in Australia the first time in 97, 98, and I was single, I didn't have any kids, didn't have any responsibilities at all. And, went to Australia via the US, spent, a month in the US, driving around, fantastic time. And then got to Sydney and I only had about £1,000, I think, to my name in Australia. But did I worry? No, I didn't at all. I was staying with friends, so I didn't have to worry too much about rent and things like that. I just had to pay for my food and booze. And let's just say it was predominantly booze. And but within a month I got two job offers. And I remember when I got those offers, I took the Australian Stock Exchange role, and it was something like, was it $600 a day? I can't remember. Yeah, I think it was about $650 a day, which equated at the time to about £400 a day. But with the standard of living in Australia, it was like $650 was £650. So $650 bought me what I would get in the UK on a £400 a day contract for £400. So I hope you get what I mean. Not explaining it very well. So I was getting $650 a day, which was over $3 and something grand a week, and then getting 12 to 15, whatever it was, grand per month in my account. And I literally couldn't spend it. Couldn't spend the money. And I worked for 3 months, and then me and my good friend of mine took a 6-week road trip up to Cairns and back. Just spending money wherever we could, just enjoying ourselves. Bought a car, all the sort of stuff that you couldn't do as a backpacker, we did because we were contracting. And then back in the UK, when I'm earning sort of $5.50 a day for long-term contracts, again, I'm just seeing 10 grand plus hit my bank account every month, and just not even really thinking about it. And then when you're out of work for a year, to go to the other extreme, because I had money, I had money in the sense of still did have some savings, but I didn't want to touch those because they were earning me money. I've got ISAs that were earning me money, so I had to cash in some of those sort of things, but I wanted to keep as many of those things going. And I didn't want to, and I live in a nice house, and I'd spent money on the house, building the house up, literally, doing extensions on the house. So I, maybe overextended myself, excuse the pun, with my finances in that situation, just thinking that there's lots more work to be done at the stock exchange. This is the London Stock Exchange this time. Therefore, I don't need to worry about spending all this money or allocating it to the mortgage or to the house or whatever it was. And there was lots of work to be done, but they just started culling permies and contractors. And then, of course, as we all know, Brexit was the first thing to hit. Then it was like, then of course COVID hits, and it got down to the point where, I was taking out 0% credit cards, which are perfectly fine to use just to get you over that little hurdle. I spoke to someone the other day who's just got a cash flow problem, and I tried to explain to him that, he could get a job within a week. He could get a contract within a week. So he's looking at things like loans and things like that. They're all valid options, of course. He was asking about the bounce back loan, but I think that finished in April. So of course you can get a loan, but you're going to pay interest on that. So something I did was I took out, got a 0% credit card just to take the little bit of panic away from me. And it worked. Just knowing that I had a 0% credit card there for 24 months, not paying any interest, just paying the minimum balance off every month. So credit cards like that, if you use them right and use them well, and you make sure I've got on my wall, I know when that credit card balance expires, so I know that has got to be paid off by that time, and that's fine, that's coming down, it's almost gone. But it just gave me a little bit of breathing space to know that when I get that gas bill come in, that car tax bill come in, that car insurance coming in, I just knew that I could put that on a 0% card, and I knew it wasn't going to suffocate me when I could see my funds just draining away like water out of a bucket, and the bucket's got holes in it. So if you are in a situation like that, then obviously please, reach out to me, DM me on LinkedIn, send me a private email if you're on my email list, and I'll always try and suggest ways to help you based on what I did. And, I went through the whole process of cutting out all the stuff that I was taking for granted. We had things like Spotify accounts, and we kept Netflix because that's $5.99 a month. But how many other just $5.99 a month are you spending that you don't need? I used to spend £30 a month on the gym, and whilst you could argue, and I did argue that to myself, that's a health and fitness thing, then of course the gym's shut, so then of course that's me saving £30 a month there. And of course I can come out and run, you can exercise in your garden, you can do other forms of exercise that don't need you to pay £30 a month to go to a gym. So just have a think of all areas of your life where you've taken those things for granted, whether it's gyms that you can't go to, or you maybe can start going back to them now. We went to Wagamama's on Saturday night before the football, and I swear we just enjoyed it so much more. And I'm not, I like Wagamama's, but I'd rather go out to a nicer, more independent restaurant. But it was just so nice to go out and have a few beers and food with family. So have a think in your life where you're taking certain things for granted, whether that's your finances. And of course, reach out to me if you need any help, if you're in trouble, if you're stuck. Of course, let me help you with your CV and LinkedIn and all that sort of stuff as well. But just reach out to me. I'm always here, even if I sound quiet, okay? All the best. Have a good one. See you. Bye.